Here we go with the first fight, Northernmost against Normancy.
Hello and welcome to Inside the List with me, Danny George, my co-host Jakub from Mamansi, and today joined by our special guest all the way from the other side of the world, Mark of Team Havoc. Welcome to the podcast, Mark.
Welcome.
How you doing?
So we will be splitting this again, like with Xander, to two parts. First will be interview, and then we are gonna analyze some fights. This time from Australian Nationals of 25, which was amazing tournament, and the quality was really high. So looking forward for Mark's ideas about that tournament. So Mark, why don't you tell us something about yourself and Team Havoc?
Okay. Team Havoc, I think, is the oldest club in Australia. So we started in 2012, 2013. So we're one of the old ones, probably maybe in the sport. We took a bit of a hit during COVID and kind of, as usual, everyone kind of dropped off. I took over as captain after Bryce Lightbody. So if anyone remembers from Battle of Nations days, Bryce Lightbody, the ranger that wore no shoes and loved to pro fight in the Polish kit. He moved to another city, so I took over in 23. So I've been running the club for almost 6 years, it's almost 3 years now. I've been fighting for, this is my 7th season.
Cool.
That's about it.
We'll be definitely talking about Bryce too. He's a legend.
Yes.
Yeah. And how was the process of transferring from Bryce's leadership to yours, you would say? Is it like do you think the identity of the team stayed the same, or did you feel like there is some attitude change?
Yeah, there was definitely a change. Bryce, when he moved cities, he moved for about a year and stayed captain. So we had to kind of co-opt the captain. He'd kind of tell us from Canberra what was happening, and myself and Luke Woolmuff, we would run training for him until eventually a year after him moving, he was like, all right, I'm ready to step down. No one would step up, and then it was like, all right, I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah, it's a burden to be a captain.
After he left, under Bryce, we were very militaristic, I think. But then since I've taken over, we got best described by Team Kraken as being like a frat house now.
Okay.
A very large club.
Nice.
Very frat house, like a juvenile detention center. So
nice. Yeah. When I watch your Instagram of the Team Havoc, you guys have a really nice training facility. It's like a barn, but it's completely transformed to serve you as a Buhurt optimized place. And you seem to train armor like all the time. Do you think that really helps you to step to the next level, to be able to train in dedicated facility and be able to have armor on anytime you feel like it?
100%. We just moved out of that facility, so that was like a shared space co-opted with the people who leased it to us, and we've now moved into our own factory unit gym. So we've lost that huge, awesome facility where it was like this couple hundred square meters. We had a full tournament size list. We had a functioning like weightlifting gym. It was like everything you need in a Buhurt gym was huge. It was awesome, and we trained 3 to 4 times a week in armor. So it definitely helped in terms of our conditioning.
A week. Jesus.
A week, yeah.
We're lucky to do that a year. Nice.
And
the new facility is good as well, or is it?
Not as good. There's some teething, but it's more central. So where Sydney is, everyone drives at least 45 minutes to get to training, and then where we were at Leppington, we called it the Scrape. That was like an hour and a half to 2 hours for some of our members, but now it's gone down to about half an hour each. It's much more central.
Cool. Yeah, and the Havoc guys are just from the Sydney, or do you gather people from around the region, you would say?
Australia's a bit of a weird region, so we get guys from across Sydney. So Sydney's a very what we classify as Sydney, the city, is like the CBD, and then the surrounds go for like an hour and a half of driving. So we get guys from all across Western Sydney, South Sydney. So people who know what the geography of Sydney, we get guys from the Southern Highlands out Mittagong, and we get guys up to Kurrajong into the Blue Mountains as well. So we have this huge catchment of fighters.
Cool. And so this will kind of move to the next question of overview of Australian scene. Would you say you are the top team of Australia right now, or at least
No,
point-wise or objectively, or no?
I
Because
think Colin
I
Campbell's.
remember Havoc being the very best for a long time, or maybe I remember that wrong. But how's the ranking, you would say now?
So a bit of history behind it. I think 2016 was our last year in the number one spot in terms of like comps. We were winning every comp. That's before I started. Like Havoc was just the older team, the more experienced guys, the bigger guys. And then slowly Team Kraken took over us. And then as Brisbane Beasts, captained by Colin Campbell, I'm sure everyone knows Colin, this magnanimous American dude. He's in the number one spot after Nationals. So his team's incredible. Great leadership, great fighters. And there's always a toss-up between us, Kraken, Beasts, and the South Australian Victorian Wolves team. So it's always a roll of the dice who's going to turn out on top of it between the four of us.
Well, that's good to have such a competition, because that's what pushes you forward to train harder, make a effort to get over your opponents, which is also situation in Czech Republic now. We had for the longest time Prague Trolls as a top team, and year or two ago, we as Mamanci started to step on their heels and eventually beat them. And now there is a third team, which is also a legacy team going on back like 2013 or something, and they were always good, but not necessarily on the level of Prague Trolls. And now at the Nationals tournament that we had last weekend, they beat them. So Prague Trolls ended up third, Vysočina, the legacy team, second, and Mamanci the first. So, but it's not gigantic gaps between those teams, so I'm really looking forward to have that competition now, where it's not set in stone that this team is the best, and I think that will push us to another level, like as the situation is in Australia is. So if you could briefly go over the most notorious teams or teams from Tier 1 in Australia to introduce them to us ignorant Europeans that don't watch anything else outside of their country, God forbid their region. Yeah, let's start with you already introduced Havoc, so and you mentioned Kraken. So what's Kraken doing?
Kraken, captain by Jake Taylor, is one of the other, probably the second or third oldest team in Australia. Jake Taylor's been around for years and years. Everyone knows him from Way of Honor and Worlds, and he was the Australian captain last year at Worlds. Awesome team, very much a control-heavy team. They're the shorter, stronger dudes who come in there and just dominate physically. Whenever I need training, I have questions, I go to Jake, and he's always been like a mentor for me, a great dude. They were number one for a couple of years. They've just come down to fourth, very surprisingly. We were expecting to lose to them at Nationals, and somehow they ended up on fourth.
Yeah. My guys from my team were super surprised about that. I told them, Beasts won the tournament, and they were like, Beasts? You mean Kraken? No, Beasts. What? You're smoking.
I think everyone has bad days. Kraken had a bit of a bad day. They had a really, really long round against Beasts.
Yeah.
And
we're going to look at that later.
I think, yeah, if you look at Havoc as well, like my lineup of my team one is we're all 6'2", 3'4", and approaching 100 kilos, whereas Kraken is lacking some height. Other teams we've got Warwolves from South Australia and Victoria, so they're a combination team led by Dinky from South Australia and Dan Cooper from Ballarat in Victoria. Dan Cooper's been around, probably some names you've heard, like he's fought on Dominus a couple times, fought for White Company a couple of years ago. He's always around, big tall dude, super autistic, always down to fight.
That's what you gotta be.
They're the arch nemesis of Havoc. They've been back and forth for years. They're a really, really good team.
Yeah. And the Beasts?
Beasts, like I said before, Colin Campbell, incredible fighters, a lot of dog in them. They're just always there to scrap. You never know what you're going to get with them. They're always going to perform well. It's just what kind of performance you're going to get. Is it going to be hyper aggressive? Is it going to be super technical? They train like maniacs. So Sam Ryder as well.
Yeah. So Sam made the switch right from Kraken because he's moved recently, hasn't he? So he was Kraken previously, and he's gone to Beasts now. Is that right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Sam started with Havoc back in 2016, I think, and then he
Yep.
moved to Queensland, fought with Vultures, and then fought for Brisbane Brawlers, then moved down. I think he was staying with family in Victoria, fought with Kraken, and then has since moved back to Beasts.
Yeah.
And the Vultures?
Man, Vultures, the second oldest team in Australia. They had a bit of a hiatus during just before lockdown, just after lockdown, during the 2020s. They've come back. They come back pretty strong. I don't actually know a lot about them, other than the fact they're captained by Paul Smith, a really prolific fighter in Australia. Big dude, very strong. Don't like getting hit by him.
Yeah, that's the guys I remember. It's Stephen Ramsey. He's still on Havoc, right?
Buzz.
Yeah.
Yes, he's now captain of our old mates team.
Yeah, he's the legend because he looks like a caveman for one, and then the first, I think it was the first tournament I saw him on was in Croatia, and that's where I think he got his nose absolutely shattered, and
right before his wedding.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, he kept fighting with that nose. But that might be putting it too much on the legend. But I wouldn't be surprised. He's absolute beast. Oh, he not beast, but you know what I mean. And then of course I remember Bryce Lightbody. He is crazy good fighter. Just there is something with certain fighters that they just have it in their head. That what you see when you see them in the field, they just know what they are doing and they are moving completely different from the other guys. While some fighters are playing armored bumper cars, he is actually fighting. So Bryce is forever the legend of the sport for sure. And I can't wait to see how he whipped another team into such a shape that they will compete in Invitational, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. And then obviously Paul Smith, also huge legend. Shout out to him. And yeah, so Vultures with Paul Smith. Was he in Havoc too, or did he start on Vultures?
I believe he may have fought with us overseas, but he always fought for Vultures.
Right. Okay. And then you mentioned Werewolves.
Yeah, Warwolves from South Australia. So Warhounds crossed with Western Wolves make Warwolves.
And then there is the Tears Warriors, right?
Tears Warriors. They're Toowoomba, so they're like country Queensland. They are like when you imagine Australian bush, that's where they're from. They're
I need to pull up Australian
farmland bush. Yeah, pull it up. They're in the middle of nowhere. They have an awesome setup as well. They've got a really, really nice gym. They run fight nights super regularly. They're run by Dave Malloy. He just understands, like the way that Bryce understands fighting, Dave understands organization. Runs a really, really good club. And it's starting to reflect now as their teams are slowly, they've built up those skills. He's paid for fighters to go to season, go to different comps and seminars, and they're starting to get to the point now where they're breaking into Div 1.
Great. Anyone else you would like to mention? Oh, of course, Burley Griffins. That's the Bryce's new team.
Yes, Canberra. The Bryce's new team in Canberra. Yeah. There's also Berserkers from WA, from Western Australia, the other side of Australia. From Perth. They elected to go to Div 2 this year because they were missing quite a few key players.
And as we probably, it was kind of included in this question, how is the geography of Australia limiting you in hosting tournaments and like getting enough teams to actually make some nice competition?
It makes it hard, like the driving distance. So we try and keep the comps close together in terms of like temperature in the season. So we try and keep them to like that May to September area. New South Wales runs a lot of events in terms of everyone's welcome, but we try and get to our biggest one outside of us is in Queensland, which is a 14-hour drive for our guys, and we're in the most central location. So for the guys in Victoria, they're driving, I think, about 21 hours to get to the next comp, or flying. It's a long drive between comps.
And during so how many tournaments would you say you managed to put together in a year?
For Buhurt International, we normally run about 3 or 4. There's a bunch of small ones that run, and we're only just now kind of getting into the habit of making it BI, making sure that the list is set, making sure we have enough marshals. This year should be more, but I believe we're aiming for 3 to 4 most years.
And I ask everybody about this, and I don't want to make this hill to die on, or I'm just curious. With such a comparatively to, for instance, Europe, a low amount of tournaments, do you think what's the idea behind having it separated to tier 1 and tier 2?
Only for nationals. So nationals, it got to the point where we had 22 teams, I think, rock up, including the women's teams, or we had more than 20 teams. It needed to be separated. Heat exhaustion becomes a huge part of it. So if we have to go and do 2 days of fighting, potentially like fighting for the whole day, going through pools and brackets and such, you won't get the same representation. So we opened it up to each captain. We said, you can elect, are you Div 1 or are you Div 2? If you think you're Div 1, it doesn't matter. There's no questions asked. You're Div 1, and you have the right to select to go to World Cup. So that's our selection to go into Worlds, IMCF, and that kind of stuff, or our New Zealand representation kind of fights. We had 5 teams elected that they were Div 1, and then the rest of them elected Div 2. They just decided they didn't want the heat. They wanted to make it more hobby. I guess you have teams that are much more hobbyist. So each of the teams on Div 1, I guess, are expected. I tell my guys, like, you're welcome to fight in Div 1 or Div 2. It's up to you. But if you're in Div 1, if you're in the corner being hit by halberds, I expect you to stand there and take it. If you're on Div 2, you take a knee, there's no questions.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And tying into that, Burley Griffins were in Div 2. What? Why?
It's an interesting question. So Burley Griffins, run by Bryce Lightbody, they have good days and bad days. So I think at the Abbey Cup earlier this year, they came last. Winterfest, I can't remember where they placed. They placed about middle. They've only started competing last year. So this is their first year competing. I didn't expect them to go as far as they did in Div 2. There were definitely teams I would put money on over those guys, but Bryce managed to, I guess his experience as well as a captain, he knew how to manage the heat exhaustion. They did have a bit of an easier pool. They had like a smaller pool when they were outside in the breeze as opposed to in the shed. But he just knew how to manage his fighters better. He knew how to put his people in the right spots, which I think comes down to his experience and just his training of his guys.
Because I'm not questioning it. I'm just curious because the other tournament, well, from the footage that I could find on the nationals, I only saw two of their fights, and they seemed levels above the competition. And the other tournament I managed to find the footage on was Winterfest, and there I'm not sure if they beat them. I think they beat some good teams. I think Kraken or somebody. I could be bullshitting right now. Don't take my word on it.
Winterfest
25.
Kraken brought their team 2. They brought so they had one fighter from the Div 1 team, and everyone else is brand new.
Okay, that makes sense. Right. Well,
Yeah.
but even then, with other teams, they seemed on the level, or at least being competitive. I think they beat Vultures also. So
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
It just didn't seem obvious why they were in tier 2 on the nationals. And so without implying any disrespect at all, are they participating in Invitational because nobody else could afford to go, or did they like actually really, guys, this is not disrespect, I'm just curious, did they actually earn it points wise?
I think they earned it. Like they fought so hard at nationals, and nationals was worth so many points. So they
Even
did
for
so
tier 2?
many fights. Yeah, so I don't know how it worked out, but I think the nationals became is it a conference event or the second level? So both tiers were worth the same amount of points, but because there were so many teams in Div 2, they just racked up point after point after point for winning, and then their elimination rounds plus the placing points. They worked hard throughout the year. They went to every comp available through the year. They got the points they needed to get to, and other teams just didn't want to compete. Other teams prioritize training, other teams prioritize going overseas to Worlds and other events, or Way of Honor, and they just Burley Griffins just played the game as opposed to playing for fun.
Cool. I'm more than happy to have them come, because as I said, it's amazing to watch Bryce fight, and it's even better to actually be in field with him. So I just can't wait. Yeah. So as you touched upon the heat exhaustion, I never been to Australia. I was to New Zealand, and weather there was great. So you were at Visegrad, right?
Yeah.
How would you compare the heat of Visegrad and the nationals?
I didn't fight in the 5s. I only pro fought into the 30s. But the heat we had in the 30s was very, very comparable to nationals. Our nationals was inside a tin shed, like our old gym, so it gets hot fast in there. You need to be getting outside, keeping water up, electrolytes, cycling fighters, making sure your guys are used to being heat exhausted as well. Like if your fighters don't train exhausted, they're not going to make it. Which we saw a lot at nationals. Guys would come in like awesome fighters, incredible fighters, but they weren't used to going round after round after round in 35-degree heat, and that's what cost them.
Yeah.
Right. Well, it's also, if the worlds and events like that will be held in summer, that's one way to prepare for it, or be ready to, know what's waiting for you there. So
I feel like Visegrad was actually like hotter than most comps over here. Actually, like Visegrad was hot.
It was very hot. It's very hot.
Yeah. Well, it's always like that. There was nothing else to be expected. I was there for like, I don't know, five years before that, every year, and it was always this hot. So that was to be expected. But yeah, I would hope that they move it next year a little bit. Spring, autumn. That would be good. But I understand that it doesn't really depend on what we wish for, but what is possible to have as the background tournament or event that will host us, like is gonna be happening. That's, or maybe, who knows. Yeah, but you will be as if I saw it correctly, you will be staying if the Invitational will be happening for a little while to participate in Visegrad too, the smaller tournament.
Yeah, I signed up my team to Visegrad. I'm using it as an opportunity to bring some of my other guys who are coming to support. So I've got some other dudes that aren't on the team for Invitationals, but they're going to be on the team for Visegrad to give the other guys a shot to fight internationally.
Yeah. Well, Hungary has amazing hot springs and stuff like that, so it will be a week well spent recovering. I can imagine. So yeah, with that, it's obviously so far to get to Europe, and I'm really happy that Australia is constantly coming to Worlds and some other tournaments. It's always great to have that Aussie oi 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 cheer. Can't wait for that. And
I've still got the French Saint Denis in my head every day.
Everybody does. Everybody does. And Libušín, the World Cup in Czech Republic, that scent is everywhere, and it's there to stay. That was horrible, but again, happy to have you there. And this year, you actually managed to get a gold medal. Like, holy hell!
Yeah, in the 12s, 30s pro fights and some of the duels, it was a lot of the guys are very surprised and very proud of how they did the Worlds.
We were all happy for you, honestly. It's great satisfaction to, or it has to be great satisfaction to travel all the way from Australia every year, constantly being there, participating, and then getting to the level where you actually get the gold medal. That's congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Did you specifically train for the 30s? I mean, obviously you were part of a larger alliance with Denmark and Netherlands, but you did get gold in 12s too, right?
Yeah, 12s
Yeah.
and 30s, yeah.
So did you train specifically for that, or you are just that tough?
No, our head marshal, Stephen Slater, doesn't like doing mass battles in Australia because it's a bit too dangerous, he thinks. So we very rarely train or do 12s and 30s. I remember going into it, and then Colin and Dinky were just saying, we don't have any pole arms left. We've only got single-handed axes. Don't line fight, just grapple them. And that was our entire plan. Just bum rush in, grab someone.
Yeah, that's how I would describe your style too, yes. And it works. So
Yeah, it works. Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of how I would characterize Australian fighting style actually in general. Not bum rushing, but like being super dynamic and just leaving it all out there, just going 100% for the whole tournament. And it's just as I said, it's great to see you fight. It's completely different from I would say European style. That's in my opinion very halberd heavy. Sometimes some teams are very like have heavy rails and then one guy runs around, and American style that's well, now with exceptions of Vagabonds, very centered around slow methodical grappling and positioning. What's your view on different styles between Australia, Europe, and America, since you could have witnessed this, noticed it yourself?
I think we're very similar to the Americans, and like a lot of our teams are very control heavy. We come in there, we want to just grapple the whole way through. We're not very strike oriented. We're starting to change a bit more, trying to be more 50-50, trying to be more chaotic, trying to move around, more dynamic movements. So I think that's one thing that Australians are starting to do well. Then you go over to Europe, and Europe, you guys do a lot of pole arms, a lot more technical fighting, I guess. If you look at Russia as well, especially I like looking at the Russian meta right now. It looks like the same meta that we had 2018, 2019, where they're just these huge halberds, they're dominating their Kraken dudes. As opposed to now, where we're much more, everyone's doing judo now, I guess.
Do you think that's kind of as a result of, in Australia, as a result of the Dominus kind of influence with your Jakes and with obviously your Collins, and obviously Dan Cooper spent a little bit of time fighting with them? Do you think, I think we've seen that kind of effect on the sport as a whole with the tabletop edition and, you know, the invention of the hump and bump and the kind of 2-on-1 tactics? Do you think that's the kind of propagation of it for Australia with Jake and Colin?
100%. Like in my own personal experience, like under Bryce especially, we got like Havoc was known for, we'd walk in there and we would just one-on-one fight the guy in front of us.
Yeah,
I'm fighting the guy in front, he's fighting the guy in front. And it wasn't until I went and started training with Jake, I'm like, Jake, how do I fix this? We keep losing. We've gone from being dominant to losing. How do I fix it? And he started showing us like the Dominus way. He started showing us how to grapple better, more tactics, more technical fighting. Yeah, it's definitely thanks to Dominus.
And I will just quickly circle back to getting the gold. Would you say it energized the scene in Australia to like see that you can actually do it, get the absolute results?
It's empowered all of the Div 2 teams to start thinking that they can go overseas more, and it's not just a local comp for them. They're trying to go, you know what, let's go interstate, let's go and look at doing international fights. I'm looking forward to, because we have so many fighters over here that don't travel. I'd love to see more of them overseas or even just interstate.
Yeah. I mean, geographically as well, just kind of circling back to the point before, for our ignorant European viewers that might not look at it, or the Americans, like if you take Australia as a continent and as a country and you dropped it over Europe, it literally goes from the border of Ukraine with Russia to practically Spain this way. And it goes from pretty much Greece down here up to halfway into kind of Norway and Sweden. Like in terms of the area that you guys have got, it's absolutely massive. It's practically the same as the contiguous US, in terms of landmass. And obviously you guys have got to do some serious traveling, the same as some people in the US to get to tournaments. So let alone flying sometimes 20, 24 plus hours to get to places in Europe to compete as well. So it is a lot of expanse really for you guys to cover, isn't it? To get to your 3 or 4 kind of BI events a year and then travel abroad.
Yeah. Like I'm trying to organize our team for the Abbey Clash in the end of May. I'm taking 4 teams up. It's like a 14-hour drive. So I'm trying to convince guys to fly, drive. I'll take a trailer in the back, and just with the fuel prices going as well, I'm trying to figure out a way to manage 40 fighters who all eat crayons for breakfast.
40
teams.
fighters.
Yeah.
4 teams
40.
from Havoc.
Yeah. So
Okay.
but like 3.5
That's
men, 3.5
probably the
men's
biggest
teams and a
club I
women's
ever
team.
heard of.
Yeah. We've got a good culture of if you can fight, you should fight. And then yeah, Div 2, take a knee, it's fine, work what you can. And a lot of our guys want to fight in that Div 1, so they're just dead keen. We've got lots of armor from generational fighters. So
yeah.
And do you, as a captain, do it like ranking the fighters? Okay, you are in Team A, you are in Team B, in Team C, in Team D, or would you say that the teams that are in Div 1 or the people who want to be competitive, do you evenly split them between, let's say, 2 teams, or?
depends. So if we're doing like a smaller comp and we're looking at developing fighters, we'll split the teams up and I'll just go, cool, let's go and rank guys from A to E, how good they are, and we'll make an even alphabet of teams. So we'll have one team that's got an A fighter, a B fighter, a C fighter, a D fighter. But for hyper competitive events, we have Havoc Prime, which is like the 8 best guys in the club. And then we have 2 teams underneath them. So one's called Old Mates, which is named after the old Russian team, Old Friends, which call them Old Mates. And they're a lot of generation, like the Fuzz, AJ Miller, and his son Connor Miller. Like all the generational fighters that don't want to fight in that Div 1 team can fight on that second team, where the expectation isn't go there and break your body. Then we have Blood Claws, which is our up and coming dude to hyper keen, and they just want to get out there. And then we have our Team 4, which is just the guys who are coming in.
And when you have 4 teams from one club at a tournament, that's, I don't know, but I would expect like, I don't know, 10 teams maybe. Not that many. When you meet each other in the groups or in the finals, do you go like 100% as you would go against any other team, or do you for instance, I don't know, don't hit gaps or something like that?
Oh yeah, we avoid gaps and such and try not to do dirty solos, but we still send it as hard as we can. Because we know that our guys beneath Prime, especially, that if they can take it, like at training last night, I had the Prime guys versus my Blood Claws, and the Blood Claws beat us because they just wanted it more than we did. So if we don't go in there with our A game, they're gonna get us.
Cool.
Yeah, it's the right way to be, that, isn't it? You don't want any shenanigans with the B team or the C team kind of seeding an easy win to the Prime team. Not and you not when you're trying to foster that environment of everybody's trying to beat everybody to be better. It's always good to see. No one likes to see someone take a knee because it's third team against first team and the third team are giving them an easy win.
Yeah. I was curious about this because for the, I think, first time in 13 years I do this sport, I will be going to a tournament with a club that will have 2 teams, and we split them almost exactly evenly skill-wise, and we want to take first and second place. So I never had that, so I can't imagine. But
I mean, I had it a few years ago. I was lucky enough to put 3 Wolves teams out, and at one point, Wolves 1 and Wolves 2 met each other in the eliminations, which was good because they both got through the groups. And I was a little bit too nice to one of my guys with a pole arm. I could have absolutely cleaned him in the back, and I chose not to. And I ended up disarming my own teammate instead because I was too nice. And at that point, I was like, I'm never, ever if I have the shot, I'm taking the shot, but I'm not trying to injure you. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's got to be done. You've got to fight clean, like you say. You're not trying to injure each other, but fight clean and fight hard, and whoever wins wins.
Yeah, it's also kind of what happened to me this past tournament, our nationals, because everybody's trying to be friends in the Czech scene, and don't hit gaps. If you don't have to, don't hit too hard. And I'm like, dude, like this creates bad habits. If you then go to international tournament and you get into the position I had you in, and there is someone who actually wants to like fuck you up, you're dying. Like,
Yeah.
I had so many opportunities to like actually injure someone or like send them to hospital. Like there was a dude bent over, and his back of the head was completely exposed, and I could just execute him. And don't get into that position, dude. But we will see. And there is dudes like with I don't want to get into this because my captain, he has huge beef with Australians now because he got badly injured with the strike right into his elbow pit, and I don't like. I would be for banning elbow pit strikes, like directly elbow pit, not ribs, but just like the exact elbow pit. Yeah, and you have to actually try to get into the elbow pit. You have to do like golfing strike upwards and whatever. That's not what I want to discuss. But there are dudes running around with brigantines that end like halfway through their body. And Jesus Christ, I thought we are past this at like 2016, you know.
Well, there are still people running around wearing gambesons with open armpits, like nothing here. Like you know what I mean? Rash guard.
I wear a gi.
I know you. Yeah, I know you wear a gi, but I've been in fights where someone's arm's on a shoulder and you can see armpit, like it's not even padding, and it's at the minute under the rules, everyone needs to accept that you can get hit there.
Yeah,
padding might be a good idea at least, but yeah, I know you wear a gi.
But I just sent you a photo just then. Have a look at the photo I just sent you. It's my brig I wore to the Worlds, full of holes.
So that's an interesting one, not to diverge too much, but I remember we fought some guys from Texas at a tournament in Ireland once, and they were all wearing gis, and their kind of rationale for that was that it was better for them with heat retention because of where they normally fight than a traditional gambeson that might be quilted and quite thick. Is that relevant to why you wear one, or do you just find it more comfortable?
I find it, I'm a weird shape, so I'm really tall, but I'm quite thin and weird shaped. So I find if I must get a gambeson made for me, it doesn't fit right.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of comfortable, but it's definitely heat retention. So a lot of my guys, like especially my bigger guys, they all wear gis just because it's easier to bleed the heat back out between rounds.
You also have a death wish with that brig.
Yeah.
Man, that is ridiculous.
I'm waiting for the new one.
Yeah.
I haven't heard nothing. I'm not using this information at Invitational. in one ear, out in the other. Okay. So just last question I was curious about for you as a captain. How do you choose fighters that go into a specific round? Do you, for instance, preserve the best fighters for really important rounds, or do you have a set like five people squad for every first round? Then you replace them with these guys. This one goes out, this one goes in, or is it based on what they did in the previous round, how exhausted they are from the fighting? What's your strategy behind that?
I normally make up a plan before like each major fight. So, for example, at the War Wolves, Kraken, and Beast fights, I'll normally have a set 5 guys that we're starting with. At Nationals, I didn't rotate my 5 during those fights until we got to beasts and Kraken, I kind of half accepted that we needed to lose the first round to continue going on. My hope was that we'd lose the first round, go in the second round, and keep exhausting them. My guys are quite fit, and I was like, let's just take them to time and drag this fight out. But I normally run my 5-man to start with, and then I'll rotate guys in intuitively based on how they're looking. Each guy has a sub. So if someone's looking too tired, I'll take one off, put one on. I've got 2 dudes that are 130 kilos, 6'5", 6. So I try and keep them off. I'll start them together, and then one will get a rest, and then round 3, another one will get a rest. It just depends. Like, I try and match guys to fighting style. So I'll take Luke Woolmarth off, and I'll put Barry Dawson on, similar fighting style. How do you do it? Curious, Jacob.
Well, I'm not captain, so it's not really up to me, and it kind of depends on. Or I haven't really spoke about it with Wojciech, our captain, but from what I would say, it's at easier fights or easier tournaments even. He tries to get guys with less experience or that are not necessarily on the level of him or some other good fighters to do as much fighting as they can.
You kind of know who's your best
Sorry?
one. Yeah. You kind of know, like, intuitively who your top 2, 3 are.
Oh, it's very easy to say in my team, honestly. There is 2 fighters that are like absolute killers. Then there is like 4 others that are getting there, but they wouldn't necessarily beat those 2. And for instance, like, I'm very role specific. That I have most experience from my team because I was for a long time part of Prague team, and then I switched over to Mamansi 2 years ago. And I'm very I specialize a lot in halberd, how to make halberd work properly, and to basically the team makes a lot of space for me when we are fighting, and that's not something you can do in every round or effort against every team. So that's also a thought that goes into that, I would imagine. And then you have like now I would say we have 10 guys that are considered the top team, and the last 4 are kind of a little bit interchangeable in terms of how much effort they put in training and how well they look in tournaments. They don't have it. The 2 that were part of the A squad, the best 8 fighters, don't necessarily have to be there next tournament, or nobody does, but these guys are there. So those guys would get the most fighting against easier teams, and when you are going up against, I don't know, if we would meet you at a tournament, you are going against Havoc, the top fighters have to be there pretty much every round. So it depends on weather exhaustion and stuff like that. You could even say, hey, you are the best, you skip this round, because also you are a fucking giant, and we need you against this team, so don't exhaust yourself against some without being disrespectful C tier team. We don't need you to, how did Lawrence say it? Baby seal clubbing.
Yeah. So, I've always kind of struggled with the idea of, like, if I field my 3 or 4 or 5 best fighters against the easy teams, my other guys don't get the experience. But if I put my other guys on that will struggle a little bit with the easy teams, I'm gassing those guys out further and further. It's a weird balance of how fast we want to go.
Investment. It's an investment to the future. If they don't get that experience, they are not gonna get better.
Yeah.
So that's up to you how you walk that line. I want to win, but I want to win most efficiently, not necessarily efficiently in a sense of winning the tournament easiest, but advancing my team as a whole.
Mm.
So yeah, but again, that's just my theory. I'm not a captain.
You've got two, 3 teams, don't you, Danny? How do you kind of pick who's on?
Yeah, so
Yeah, sorry, that was Danny, right? Sorry.
yeah, so from my point of view, the way I tend to try and field our team is I have 2-3 stacks. So I'll have my list guys and I'll have 3 for each side. So they've got their own sub in rotation. This is if we've got a full 8. So if we've got a full 8, I'll have, for example, I'll always have Ewan and Simon and Niall on the left, team 1. I'll have Mike, Kian, and maybe George on the right, for example. And that's their little rotation. So they've always got a sub. So we can always roll people in. My centre guys are actually the most experienced on the field at being able to field across all positions. Because if we pick up an injury, we can have the guys from the centre float across, or we can have, we can move it around. So normally that's like Dan, for example, little Dan, or it was myself. It's probably not going to be me this season. I'll probably go onto the list a little bit more. But we tend to try and keep it with the structure of who's got strong skills in those areas. So my guy that's on the list is always going to be one of the strongest wrestlers that we've physically got. His number 2 man has got that diverse option, has got the skill to be able to hit hard, strike from that initial engagement, but also wrestle pretty well. My middleman just needs to be chaos. Like my thoughts on my middleman in every team is it's either kill or be killed. They either take the opportunity or they're neutralizing somebody else and they may go down. You know what I mean? And that's pretty much the same for any of our teams, whether it's the first, the Wolves 1 or Wolves 2 or even Wolves 3. We're always, as you know from when you fought last year against us, we're pretty heavy and strong in that wing wrestling department, and we put a lot of emphasis on trying to get that grind and get the man advantage on the list, and then from there obviously try and take it from there. So that's how I approach it. I'm in a lucky position that most of my guys now that are in the Wolves 1, Wolves 2 and Wolves 3 have got probably at this point 2 years of experience under the belt minimum. So any of my guys are kind of at any point able to be Wolves 1, Wolves 2, Wolves 3 with relatively equal skill. We're all pretty well matched. The only thing that obviously makes a big difference is list time in terms of experience. So my Wolves 1 guys, you'll tend to find are the longer tenured guys that have been there and seen it and done it more often, purely because of the fact that, sometimes experience wins fights, not skill. But yeah, I mean, that's the way I tend to do it. I tend to always have my 3 stacks. So I've always got that rotation in my guys on the wing, and the middleman just floats across whichever position's needed. If one of my guys is really gassed because he's just done a really heavy fight, the guy in the center is strong enough of a wrestler to be able to step into one side or the other.
I like the idea of the center being like the strongest, like at all skills, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the center is one of those difficult positions because sometimes doing nothing is actually doing enough. And a lot of people are too eager to want to be involved in a fight when they're in the middle. They think standing around is doing nothing when they could actually be, posing a real threat by not doing much. And it takes a while, I think, for people to build that skill. But to be in the center, you're at the most risk because you don't have the safety net half the time of wrestling against a list and cutting off half of your options of being taken down. So our strongest wrestlers like Dan, his judo and his wrestling, and he's not a big guy in stature, he's 5'8". I've seen him take down people that don't normally get taken down in free space in the center of the list just because his skills are that good. But then when you stick him on the list, his skills are even better because he's only got half of the options he has to worry about. So yeah,
is he the short Scottish guy?
he's not. No, that's Ewan. So Ewan normally is anchored on the list, like he's not going anywhere. But Dan is same height, but he's a lot more fleet of foot, so he's able to kind of recognize a position and run behind a line like that. But if you wrestle him and press him in the center where there's no safety net, most people do end up on the floor just because his wrestling, his trips, and his judo are very, very high level.
Yeah, for sure. The center is the hardest position in terms of like you have to think a lot about what you're doing, and it kind of I would say dictates the tempo and the style of the fight you have. That's
100%.
when you see most of the fights, it's any action, it begins in the center. Center decides to go there, that side reacts to it, and stuff like that. So yeah, and for instance, I when I was in Prague team, I almost never centered. Maybe never. I always went two. And since I moved to Mamanse, I usually center now. And I love watching Andrew McCabe from Kniash, but I'm never gonna run like him. But I would say I still shape the flow of the fight just in a different style.
Yeah.
You can do both. You can go ham and run around like McCabe, or you can, I don't know, stay whole fight on the center and just watch the other center and negate them, and your sides do the job, and you just make sure that their center doesn't threaten them. So
yeah.
I find like every rail fighter, every cover anchor is like one of 2 or 3 kinds of fighter, whereas every center is different to the next center.
Yeah.
They're all their own fighter.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch. Like everybody has as you said, everybody has different approach, and some of them are obviously less valid than the others, but I would say the quote unquote meta is much more defined on the rail, somewhat less defined, but also very defined on the two, and then the center just is very open to being creative. Yeah. So I would say any other questions you have, Danny?
No, I mean, from my point of view, it's been a good overview from Team Havoc, teams in Australia. Obviously, we'll be looking forward to seeing Havoc at the Invitationals later on this year, along with Mamansi. So I think it's going to be an interesting year.
Yeah, I would say us as a Mamansi and Havoc and Burley Griffins are in a similar position that I would say we are all quite strong teams, but not necessarily seen as the favorites of the tournament, and we can just go there and surprise, do our best, and but still, even though we are not probably favorites, it's everybody's tournament. I would say all the teams are at the same starting point, and who now goes and puts the most work in and prepares the best can take the gold. No problem.
For sure.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts about Invitational, Mark?
We're just excited to get over there and get it done. We want to get out there, get to Europe more, get our name out there a bit more. Just start getting some more experience in. We just want more fights, really.
For sure.
We don't care who we fight, we'll just fight them.
Yeah. It's just that for me, Invitational is like, I would say, peak of my career so far.
100%.
And it's, of course, it's nice to go to Worlds and represent your country and whatever, but it's just something, it just hits different to go to a tournament where you have 8 or 9 best teams in the world, like actually
and you're representing your club as well.
Yeah. And you have no break fights. Like you don't. Every fight is the hardest fight you had yet in your career, or so far in your career.
I told one of my guys the other day, is that he's planning for it, that in normal comps you have like a hard fight and a medium fight and an easy fight, and it goes up and down. There's always dips and waves, but every single match Invitationals is going to just be this gold medal match.
Yep.
Like every single one back to back.
Yep. And it's also the pressure of, at that high level of competition, you fall stupidly or you make some mistake, the teams against you are so experienced that when you are 4 against 5, you have very little chance to turn it around. So everybody has to be at the absolute A game. So yeah, looking forward to that. And of course, the equipment has to be in top shape. There is no leeway when it comes to like your straps being rotten and your gear falling apart, because you are just if you get seated because of equipment, you fucked your team so bad. So yeah, it's just
So Dupont armor's for
yeah.
Dupont armor covers everything.
Yeah, that I'm getting that for sure. So yeah, we will be ending the interview part now, and we go to analysis.
Yep.
Sweet.
Thank you. Okay, so we are back. We got the nationals prepared, and we will be starting with Burley Griffins against Beast's Blood, which is their B team. This is obviously tier 2, as we discussed. And do you know which one is Bryce?
Bryce would be the guy, the right-hand anchor. I know him from his stance. You can see he's just ready to go.
Yeah. This is the guy to watch, honestly. Not discarding any other fighters, but as I said, I'm a huge fan of Bryce. Right, let's get it started. So straight away, Bryce goes to the other side as a rail. That's unheard of, kind of, honestly. But he's dynamic and has his head in the game, so he can dodge trips and stuff like that. So if someone can do it, he's the guy. Goes straight for the head rip, nice and clean.
Yep.
And within like, I don't know, 10 seconds, you have power play for Burley Griffins. Nice turn throw, another head rip. You can see that that's what they are training.
I found a lot at Nationals, especially, that in the Div 1 fights, head rips weren't working anymore. So they were such a dominant thing at Worlds and Carnage, every other like major comp the last couple of years. Head rips have been dominating, but Div 1 for us, head rips just stopped working.
Really?
Yeah. Everyone's training. Everyone's over here. Everyone trains them. So everyone knows how to escape them. Everyone knows how to defend against them. And you get a couple. I'd head ripped a guy from one end of the list to the other until he fell down. But that was probably the only one I got, I think.
That's interesting, because they work quite well for in our tournaments.
I think the more successful when you manage to catch the guy sleeping, right? So the head's in the air, and as soon as you get the leverage. But we've seen the same. A lot of people kind of, when they're grappling now, are burying the head a little bit more into the shoulder or the chest, so that the threat of the head rip, you feel the contact to your back before the haft or the weapon is actually around the front of your helmet. So yeah, I mean we've seen it a little bit more. They're not as successful, but I guess it depends on the level of competition. Like you say, if everyone's training for it, everybody understands where they need to be to try and avoid it.
And there is also, I mean, obviously they will not work 100%. It's not like the easiest thing to pull off against top tier teams, but it also depends how you do the head rip. If you just go there, your hands are far away from each other. You cannot see it on the camera now, but like on the level or slightly farther than your shoulders are, as usually people head rip. That's not gonna work, because you are giving a huge space for the guy to turn around, move his head around.
Yeah.
And if you grab even your pole arm, just like fist on fist, that you are not giving him almost any space to turn his head around and get away from it. And also, it's very dependent on cooperation, especially at the high level, because you need your body to push your opponent's head up to give you the best leverage you can get. And also, if the guy he has, for instance, very strong neck or knows how to defend it by leaning forward and stuff like that, you cannot do the straight head rip just down, but you need to rotate him to the side and let go.
We've been even training to like shake people through. So rather than just going off the one shake, you shake 1, 2, 3, and then you're right, real big one. Because people think they've succeeded the defense.
So something that we actually train, and this might be an inside tip for other people, is if you're in that 2-on-1, if I go for the head rip, my teammate's trying to feed the head, and the person buries the head. When the person buries the head, the guy behind pushes forwards and uses it as a head drag. So
we've been doing the same thing.
Yeah, so you get a lot of people that like labor the point of trying to get the head rip, even when the guy's fully like head forward. We trade off the position. So as soon as the guy buries his head really far forwards, the guy behind is making the head stay there. The guy in front is then taking the head drag and using it as a push down rather than a head rip backwards.
Yeah,
and that again comes down to teamwork, right?
Yeah, and it's the idea behind almost every technique. If it doesn't work, don't try
keep trying
trying to make it work. Just move on to something else. That's especially for halberdiers and senseless striking. Okay, so round 2. Bryce is now on the middle, if I'm correct.
Middle, yeah.
Yep.
And he goes for that other center. Got 5 1 versus 1s. And now it's basically who gets the power play first, who wins their wrestling exchange, and go from there. Yeah, and Bryce is gonna get it.
So there was a takedown here on the rail, and then Bryce gets the center in the corner as well. So now the 2 men up. Bit of a double there. There's that front head drag.
Yeah, that's exactly what we talked about.
Yeah.
So that was nice and quick. Win for Burley Griffins. And we go now to, again, Burley Griffins versus your team, Old Mates, or part of your team.
Yep. There's the average age of this team at this comp, I think, was 38 or 39 for Old Mates.
That makes me feel young.
Yeah.
I thought. Breaking the fourth wall. Danny has his birthday now. Do you want to say the age, or would you rather not?
I'm 37 today, so if the average age was 38, 39, I still feel pretty young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah, happy birthday again. Who doesn't comment happy birthday is not a fan. And again, he did the same thing exactly in the first round. He as a rail, he jolts straight across. And again, for the head rip, didn't work this time. And you see, he doesn't push the issue. He goes and does something else. And if I could criticize a little bit, this is not what you should be doing.
He was new to the center, so
yeah.
If your buddy is getting head ripped, you don't head rip the guy head ripping him, because then you, in the best case, you get 1-for-1. You should push
in
the opponent so he cannot get the rip down. Don't strike him, especially when you don't have that much power in your shots, or don't have the gap open. Another attempt for head rip.
Yeah.
Solid defense though.
So the guy he just got tried to head rip is Carl Shirl, or Shirley Bird. Back in his Battle Nations days, referred to himself as the biggest cunt on the list.
And Bryce got a nice clean takedown. And took a knee here, maybe some injury, looks like.
Yeah. So he and Bryce are quite good friends. So he also lives in Canberra with Bryce, but continues to fight with us. Before the comp, Bryce walked up, gave him a big hug, and as he gave him a hug, checked his gaps, knew exactly where to hit him.
Of course.
So did he get dropped from that buckler punch to the gut? Was that what that was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight to the floating rib.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think that strike was effective until one guy from Steel Lions hit me straight below the rib, just like pushed it inside, and I said, okay, that works, and I'm selling my Brigantine.
Yeah. I won't go back from a cuirass now.
Oh, I really want to get cuirass with titanium front and steel back. It's just that if you want a titanium now, you gotta get it from Russia, and I don't want to support Russians. So I'm waiting for Ukraine to have some free titanium.
Yeah, mine's absolutely brilliant, because when someone goes to like full on punch you in the gut or knee you really hard and it just hits solid steel.
Yeah. And it's also it goes against common perception, but it's lighter than coat of plates or Brigantine, because you don't have such a so much overlap of the plates.
Yeah, I think my cuirass is, I think it's about 7 kilos, so it's probably considered heavy for what you could get in a brig. But given that it's full plate, you know, it's it's
7 kilos for a cuirass. That's all right.
Yeah, and I went with 1.2 on the chest and the upper back, 1 mil on like the lower, and then like 0.8 on the folds that cover my hips. So like I tried to save as much weight as I possibly could when I had it made, and yeah, I've been wearing one now for what, 2.5 years, 3 years this year. I'd never go back from a Buhurt context.
Yeah, and if it's well done, it's as mobile or even more mobile than brick.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
Again, we see Bryce switch from the rail to the middle. Basically the same exact strategy. And goes for the center again.
That's Stephen Fast Ramsey.
Yeah.
They know each other quite well, I imagine.
Yeah.
And what happened here? His Burley Griffin saved him, his body. That's good reaction.
He went for the Asoto and kind of got caught up in a little bit of a pile and a push.
And it's also it was the Asoto wasn't working, so he should have just rotated out of it and tried something different. Don't be bullish on your technique, or just reset the position and try it again. If that's something you have trained a lot and you just want to do it. Cool. So Burley Griffins get the gold in tier 2. Kind of delayed congratulations, but congratulations anyway. And we go on to tier 1. Vultures against tier warriors, round 1. We will not be doing the whole fights because that would take ages.
Yeah. These are the fights that draw out and get longer and longer and more complex.
Yeah. So now we get to the tier 1, and the teams, as you said, are very even skill-wise. So it's a matter of fine details and strategies to actually get the win. You just cannot bulldoze through your opponent if you're not your teammate Milan.
Yeah.
We will witness that later. So standard lineup, and both centers are hanging back, waiting for their opportunity.
So these two teams are actually quite close to each other geographically, so they fight quite a lot. So this is a bit of a proving ground.
And
who is the better team?
The first takedown here, overhead throw, you would say.
Yep.
And when you are in this position, this is the guy who has to equalize the fight. That's on him now. Or maybe there's 2 tiers against 1, but he's well tucked in the corner, so this guy has to even it up. Now it's this one. Booty hits. Again, nice overhead throw.
Yeah.
And the halberd gets to work. Paul wasn't fighting here, he was just coaching, right?
Yeah, he had a heart attack a couple of years ago,
Oh,
so he's been slowly making his way back in.
Well, if you are listening, Paul, or someone who knows him, wish him good health from us.
Head rip attempt, both going down there.
Yeah, it's 1 for 1. That's
Field
not
awareness.
ideal, but it's not the worst thing if you have a number advantage. And as we said in the Visegrad episode, we are sitting here in our nice air-conditioned room. It was hot as hell in there, and we don't know, what the fighters were feeling. So take what we are saying with, that's our perspective here.
Yeah, take it with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
We're looking at this months after the event.
Yeah. Okay. Vultures got it done. And this was the most interesting round out of the 3. So we will be skipping the other 2. Who won in the end? Vultures?
I don't remember actually.
Let's just see that.
Skip ahead.
Yeah, that's
Oh, cheers.
1-1. And third round went to seems
Oh,
Tears. Yeah.
Tears, yeah.
Yeah, good job, Tears, turning that around. Maybe that was the tactic you mentioned. Put the weaker fighters first.
And
the
gas
weaker-
them
weaker
out.
squad,
Like just
tire
draw
them
the
out.
fights in.
Okay, so 8, 45, 35.
This is our grudge match of the century.
Mm-hmm.
So the history behind this is we took Havoc interstate for the first time in a couple of years in 2023 down to South Australia, the home ground of these guys, and we lost horribly to these guys, and it just
Okay.
began this trend of us losing to Warwolves year after year, and this was if we don't win, we're cycling or we're done.
Mm-hmm. Can we see you on this squad?
Yeah, so I'm the center on
Mhm.
Havoc. If you're looking for standout fighters, got Dan Cooper, I think is on the far right anchor. I think it's Dan Cooper there.
And
yeah.
from the rest of the tournament that I watched, this Werewolf Center is doing really good job also.
Yeah, Cameron Ritchie, he's just moved to Kraken as well. He's moved cities, so
Mhm.
he's a great up and coming fighter.
So yeah, nice situation awareness from you.
Yeah.
Nice. Quick 4 versus 5. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about with the head rips. That's
people are getting used to it.
yeah. If he had his arms together, that could have worked.
Yeah.
So yeah, center on center action here.
Was the disarm though?
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice. Good job.
Very good head rip.
Yeah, I gotta say, I don't do that also often, but don't go immediately for the weapon as you lose it. Secure your position first. if you don't have a sidearm on you.
It's a good tactic, get the disarm,
Nice.
but
Yeah.
they already got the takedown on the other side.
Almost got it.
Yeah, that was my little brother Ryan. He was pretty mad about that.
So it's a family business, Havoc.
Yeah.
Nice.
A lot of brothers, or a couple of brothers and close friends in the club. My brother and I started LARPing, and then I started doing Buhurt. He was like, "No, I'm good at LARP. I'm sticking to LARP." And he came to a comp once, and he goes, "Oh, these guys are shit at sword and shield. I reckon I'm going to beat them." And then 6 months later, he was in the Buhurt team.
Nice. Okay.
Um,
And you got the win in the end. We're just gonna
Yeah.
skip over again to the absolute slugfest of
Instincts.
Kraken versus Beasts.
Yeah, I think
This was my favorite fight of the.
Yeah.
Sorry, Danny.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say on that though, with from the initial, obviously you had enough vision to get the initial takedown. You saw a guy out of place, wasn't watching,
Yeah.
and then the teamwork made it pay.
Hmm.
There was an interesting statistic for anybody that might have seen it. The Buhurt is Love podcast. They had a guy on who did a full analysis of the tier 1 at Carnage. So he analysed all the tier 1 fights at Carnage, and he broke it down into types of takedowns, how successful they were, and things like that. And I found it really interesting through the analysis that in almost 81% of rounds fought, whoever got the takedown first won that round. And it just goes to show you like how big of an advantage it can be in a 5-on-5 to get the first takedown and then make the overlap, the power play count. So yeah, I mean
it's
you see it
absolutely
there.
crucial.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised it's only 81.
Yeah, 81%.
Okay, so I chose only round 2 from Kraken versus Beasts because it was 20 minutes long?
Yeah, it's a long
It
fight.
goes
So
on
if you
for
watch
4
it-
rounds.
If you look outside, the sun's up, you can see the trees, and by the end of this match, it's pitch black.
Yeah. But Mark, you said that it would be good to analyze all 4 because it's
If you want to, like, not analyze, but skim over them. Like, if you look
right,
at the way Jake survives them, like
and Jake here
teamwork-
is
Jake looks like the anchor on our right hand side.
Is that Bowen
with
next to
Bowen
him?
Slater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Bo is shorter guy, right? But he has
Short Mary, yeah.
yeah, he's strong as a bull and great wrestling technique. Okay, so yeah, it's that's a bolt from Bo to expose his back like that to a halberdier, but I guess he relies on his center, not letting opponent halberdier to strike too much.
Especially for a team that wears a lot of titanium and plastic.
And quick takedown from Kraken.
Yeah. We do see that kind of takedown and technique effort on the list a lot from the Dominus-led teams, like that initial crash to create that 2-on-1, push people flat, and then get a hump and bump off the back of it.
Yeah. And we got 1-for-1 takedown here, and it's you can see from both teams doing really good job, not necessarily clinching up and tying people down, but covering each other, positioning, neutralizing the opponents that way. And it works out that they cover the Beast Fighter so that he can get 1-for-1 takedown and equalize the power play from Kraken. So good job on that. Yeah, nice cooperation from both teams. Head rip attempt. Yeah, and again that.
This back left corner is Colin versus Jake, so they both neutralize each other. The best fighters in their teams, just they've sacrificed, I guess, the killing power against each other.
Nice takedown here. He was seated. No. Quite a big slugfest going on now, and that's what dictated not just this fight, but the rest of the tournament for Kraken. They had such long rounds that they just got absolutely exhausted. And I think
This is the way the Kraken fights.
I think this ends 3-on-3, and it ends on time. Yeah. So now we are going to round 2.
You probably skipped most of round 2 and just look at I want to just highlight the way that they deal with a 2-on-1.
I want to watch the whole round too. Yeah, that was really interesting round. So now they don't push through like they did before, because they probably recognize that Sam is a good striker and he can take you down quite quickly if you give him the opportunity. Especially if you give him your whole back and he knows where your gaps are. Just a quick question. What's your opinion on striking gaps? And by gaps, I mean gaps on spots that you are supposed to have protected.
So we're talking about like inside of elbows. Are we talking what kind of
inside of elbows? That's
areas you can't protect, I guess.
Yeah, well, that's kind of like the elbow, armpit, as I talked about. But I'm more against striking into armpit than inside elbow, because on inside elbow you have this sleeve and it actually requires some skill to get in there. So that's fine by me. But I'm more talking about like I don't know, exposed ribs, or someone has a big gap on back of the shoulder, or their hip, stuff like that.
So I teach my guys in Div 1 there's a fair game. In Div 2, take it by ear. We normally give a warning shot first, and then make them aware so they can choose to move and defend it. But in comps like this, it's just go for it.
And what about
the
wrist?
I had a lot of contention earlier last year because I got quite upset at people hitting wrist gaps in no sheep station fights. It was just fights that were just for fun. I don't like wrist shots, but when you're in gold medal matches, I think they're going to happen. But in early stuff, as a situational, I guess.
Right.
That said, so Kraken's best fighter, I don't know if remember, Rob Hayes, but he was one of the best halberdies out there back in Battle Nations, and he trained his guys under Kraken to hit wrists until they fought at Nationals or Winterfest a couple of years ago. And the guy he had trained to hit wrists hit Rob in the wrist, and he's now retired. So it's a dangerous game to play.
Yeah.
I don't encourage it in the hopes that people don't do it back to us.
Yeah, I don't aim for them, but if I see someone hitting on the wrist, I'm gonna, or like
it's free game.
Yeah, or like being dirty in any way, like back of the knee, stuff like that. I'm gonna do my best to make him pay for it with his own money.
Definitely.
Yeah, but I don't aim for it directly. But not like the wrist, the elbow pit, the armpit. I would hit ass, because that's supposed to be protected, and it's not too dangerous to hit it. And if you like lean over and your whole ass is sticking out, and you don't give me much other targets, like what do you expect? So yeah, I'm fine with that, but I rated two different things. Like if it's in the rules that you are supposed to have it protected, that's I don't care. I'm just gonna hit you with the first shot there. That's your fault that you don't have it protected. If it's impossible or hard to protect, or it can actually cripple you if I hit you there, as I said, I have to see you hitting there to hit you there.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I guess that's why a lot of teams are moving towards those long sleeve jupons that Kraken are wearing there. Like it covers that jupon armor, so you can't see the gap.
Yeah, gap, and also if your equipment fails, you don't get seated straight away.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah,
Nice.
that's what I said. He's short but strong as fuck.
Yeah.
I think with Bowen as well, there's times where I've watched him and it seems like he's not doing anything, and then like that,
He's
it's like he's waiting for the other person to switch off for that split second, and then boom.
Yeah, that's what I do too. It kind of lulls your opponent, makes him think that you don't know how to take them down or don't have the
Yeah.
power, and then he drops his guard, and then you can go.
There goes Sam. Just trying to cover off Marco.
Yeah, that's that was a good decision to go for the hand strike or the weapon strike. When your opponent, as a halberdier, when he sees you, and especially when you are directly in front of him, there is no point like hitting him on the leg if it's tier 1 or shoulder or something. It's not gonna take him down. It's usually the shots that you don't see that take you down or you don't expect. So the best option you have is disarm him.
Mm-hmm.
Kraken center is
Another
trying
good.
to nice takedown here. Bit messy, but it works. The Kraken center was mirroring Sam all of the rounds, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also here, if you know you have a and he knows about him for sure. If you know you have a halberdier, don't put your arm up like that, because not just you are exposing your armpit. That's whatever. But if you stretch your ribs like that, you cannot clench your muscles, and it actually can hurt you much more than if you would be tucked in. You are giving him headshot on his own mate here. Bam. Or no, rip shot.
Poor Julian.
Yeah, lucky that he didn't hit some gap. Yeah, he managed to get out of there, but yeah, it's 5 versus 2. That's not going anywhere. Good for beasts, but even if you are 5 versus 2 and it's a high-level competition, and it's a gold match or something like that, you have to you have an option to save your energy or avoid injury, or you can stand as long as you can, and you are 2 of your guys are tiring 5 of theirs, and
which affected them the whole comp.
Yeah.
There was a good disarm there in that top left corner then by Marco. Same thing, good halberdier sense. He didn't really have a good target at the whole guy, so he hit the hand and the weapon. It looked like it took the actual weapon and the gauntlet with it.
Basically the same start, but now number 2 goes straight away for the halberdier, so he doesn't mirror Sam, and Sam can get some hits in. For duels, 1 for 1, or 1 for 1 here.
Very good from head drag there.
Yeah, nice head drag here. And at this level of competition, if you get advantage like this,
slow down.
Yeah.
So here's where kind of Jake just got so much respect for me. Jake did so well here. He identified it was 2v1 and just made sure he stayed in the corner, shelled himself up, stayed active so they didn't call the fight.
So here's a question. You can see the greaves that Jake's wearing. Demi greaves, completely exposed, back of the calf. I think Colin wears something similar, or Colin wears 3/4. We're seeing more and more of those now in the sport again. What, in this scenario, you're trying to win, medals are on the line. You guys striking the back of that calf?
Oh, I'm striking it
No.
even without
No.
trying to get a medal, because that's your choice, you know.
Yeah.
You made that choice to have that calf exposed.
Yeah.
You are for the whole fight. You have an advantage of having lighter legs. Why should you be only one benefiting from making that decision?
Yeah.
It's,
I mean,
it's so
that's my
close to the
opinion.
ACL in the back of the knee.
Yeah, I think it depends on the position that you've got the guy in. I'll be honest, if the guy's scrambling, there's no point even aiming for it because his feet are moving too much. But if he's pretty static, that to me is a big
Yeah.
potential target to take a leg away and obviously make it easier to get the takedown, especially against, somebody as strong as, for example, Jake in the wrestling department. But I'm seeing it more and more. Obviously, see a lot of American fighters from the Carnage footage that we reviewed that are wearing these half greaves rather than even the 3/4 with the wings around the side. And it's like risk versus reward nowadays. But I mean, he's doing a good job of keeping himself in the corner here, so it's keeping him safe, and he's not getting dragged into too much of a static position. He's switching up his targets. Like at this point, he's doing a good job because he's neutralizing one beast fighter by just having Colin in the way. But like at this point, if you had the exposed, I probably would be, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
With the audio on, you can hear Colin talking to Harry here, and he's like, just bring him out, make him fight, get him out of the corner. And the marshals will pull you out of the corner if it goes for too long in there. And
communication is key in these situations.
Yeah.
I think the other thing as well in this scenario, there's already been a couple of really long drawn out rounds. Beasts are winning this round at the minute. If it goes to time, right? 2-1.
Yeah.
Doing anything too crazy to try and win the round and get him down could actually jeopardize that round as yours as it is at the minute. And I have two trains of thought on this, and I actually went over this with my guys in training on Tuesday. If you're only fresh into the round, I wouldn't expect my guys to be kind of stepping back and trying to ride a round out for 5 minutes just to win it on numbers. But if we're getting towards the last 30 seconds, 20 seconds, I wouldn't want them to overcommit. I'd want them to just win the round on numbers. And I think it's a smart game plan, taking that step back and just be like, all right, we're up. He has to do what he has to do to win. We don't really want to play into that too much.
Yeah. And time out here. Well, if what I definitely wouldn't do is trying to take him with me on the ground and leave one standing, because a lot of good fighters know how to counter that, and you are risking just falling down for nothing. And but I think they could have. Obviously, I wasn't in that situation, and I don't know how strong they are, how strong Jake is, stuff like that. So I would try to get him out of the corner and communicate how do we take him down. Take a step back, figure out the strategy. Like, you grab his hat, I grab his leg, and we take him down somehow. Here you were just what they did, or what seemed to me that they did, was just slugging it out, trying to basically doing it 1 versus 1, 1 versus 1, rather than 2 versus 1.
Yeah, we had 2 S-tier fighters in there that are just trying to duke it out, and Harry's in there kind of just trying to do his best to help.
Trying to help.
Again, I'm not shit-talking them. It's just what I think.
No. Yeah, that's good.
I think the other thing as well is, like, Jake's still in this round as well, isn't he? He's over there on that top rail. Like,
he fights every round.
The guy's engine is unreal.
He's also in a gi.
Yeah, that's also one of the things that almost seem unfair. You guys, Australians, seem to have endless stamina. Just, it's almost like it's not fair.
It comes from that grindy style, though, right? Like, you guys are constantly grinding like this, training in the gym because it's a very wrestle heavy style in Australia. Like you develop that gas tank, you have to.
Nice
That was a
throw.
beautiful throw
Yeah.
by Sam.
And for any other fighter, I would say this is a big mistake what Sam does, exposing his back. But he
Yeah.
knows. It was almost like he baited him on purpose. Or maybe
We have
it
a
was.
saying in Australia. It's like, if you see Sam, don't charge Sam. Don't run at Sam. You see it time and time again. Don't run this. Don't
I like
charge
this
the
though.
center. They were just
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, sees opportunity, gets loose, and Sam did a mistake of not being too sure about his mate holding him. So
Yeah. Field
you have to
awareness is
keep your
key
head
for
on the
everyone.
swivel all the time. One strike, look around. Two strikes, look around.
But yeah, that was a really, it's one of those highlight reel type throws that you see, and then the awareness just caught him out a little bit.
Nice counter.
Colin. Yeah.
Poor Marco.
No, yeah, he went for that Ouchi on the inside and just got dumped. But then again, he's doing it against Colin, so Colin's probably one of the best in terms of being sure-footed, where his feet are at all times.
Marco, the guy he just dumped, was my fighter of the year in Australia. World Cup,
Yeah.
across every comp he went to. Marco is my absolute favorite.
4v3 for beasts, and they make sure that they keep
I
the
think they're at
advantage.
timeout again.
Yeah, it's going dark again now, like you said at this point.
Yeah, completely dark.
That was very unlucky by Bowen there. He almost had it.
I just wonder, obviously beasts had to be tired like crazy from this fight too, but they didn't show it as much as Kraken in future fights. Do you think it was that beasts eventually won and it gave them that morale boost that pushed them forward?
Yeah, definitely. It put winds in their sails, and Colin's a taskmaster of a captain. Like, you have high expectations, and he trains his guys to perform at a high level.
Mm.
And they won on time again. So that was win for the beasts, hard earned, slugfest for Kraken, great effort, but as we will see, it compromised them in the other fights. So werewolves versus vultures. Again, we see my favorite center. Nice slugfest here. Let's just
That
duke
was
it
a
out.
good quick takedown there on that top rail. Nice headlock.
Yeah, and he kind of Vulture Center kind of fucked it up, to be honest, because he saved him here,
Yeah.
or at least didn't.
He was a little bit too slow to get in there and save his teammate, wasn't
Yeah,
he?
if he snapped him down, he would have it 1-for-1, but here he kind of saved him. And yeah.
Whoop.
Nice.
Nice redirection.
Good sweep.
Yeah. This was also not the best choice by the Vultures fighter, honestly. I mean, it's not the worst thing that could have happened to have it 1-for-1, but I always try to save my body over taking somebody down, and
Yeah.
even if it's 1-for-1, not optimal. But he made up, in my book, with this beautiful counter. Nice. Great awareness. And we are back to 3 versus 3.
Yep. So Dan Cooper was looking for that. Oh.
Pulled him down with him. Unfortunate.
Bodies.
Yeah, he sat down.
Yeah,
he put pressure on the back of the fallen fighter.
Did he?
Right, so he gets pushed over.
Yeah.
He rests his hands.
Yeah. Well,
Team's getting very
yeah.
good at calling those.
Yep.
It was very light pressure, but it was a pressure, so
Mm.
up to Marshall. Sorry. Herbert.
Nice.
Nice.
Nice outside trip as he went to turn there.
Cool. Good job from Warwolves. Okay.
So Warwolves lost a lot of key players this year. Like Dinky, who was at World Cup with us, the South Australian guy, he tore almost every tendon in his knees. Salter's done a double ACL blowout. So both their 2 starfighters from Adelaide are out. So they did pretty well with that, those 2 guys.
Okay, we go to Havoc versus Kraken. And just a second, I need to put a collar on my dog.
This is what we're worried about. We're like, all right, this is like the flip of the coin.
Yeah. So at this point now,
And
this is after Kraken's just gone, what, 4 rounds, 20 odd minutes?
4 or 5 rounds of boost, yeah.
How are you looking at this as a team? Are you going, yeah, they're potentially exhausted and there for the taking? Is that what you're thinking at this point?
No, they've got the gas, they've got the fight. They're gonna try and beat us if they can. We had no doubt that they were gonna bring everything they could to us. They smashed us round 1. It ended up being myself and my brother fighting 4 of them.
Yeah.
And then that just gassed them further. And we brought the A team on for round 2 and just sent it.
Yeah, so this is round 2?
Yeah. Round 2?
I think so. No.
Yeah, that's round 2. Yeah, I brought my boys on.
Yeah. Kraken won the round 2, round 1, but
round 1.
It's again, it's right after they fought with, or not right after, but shortly after they fought with Beasts, and even though they won the first round, they are exhausted. You can see it.
So we also refer to the team Prime as Fee, FIFO, Fun, and Ryan. So if you look at the lineup on Havoc, there's 6'6", 6'5", 6'4", 6'3", and 5'11", 6 foot.
Nice. Yeah,
and then there was just this absolute hero charge up on the top left.
That's my favorite. Just a cannonball. And he tied up 2 fighters, but even despite that, he managed to have situation awareness to get out, and immediately when this guy wasn't looking, just smack him from the side.
That's
Beautiful
Jake.
job. That's awesome awareness.
That was Jake he took.
Oh, that's a big frag. So yeah, amazing job from Milano here. Does he have Czech or Slovakian ancestry? That's a pretty Central European name.
He's a Serbian.
Serbian. Okay. Nice. Just dropping them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's being tired, honestly. I would imagine if he had more in the gas tank, he would try to get out, but yeah. So that's you right here, picking up the leg.
Yeah, I tried his ankle and I just couldn't grab it. He was too heavy.
Yeah. It's nice to do it with your hand, but we saw from Carnage that one team, I'm not entirely sure, I think Executioners, almost
they tried it against
almost got Dragoons.
Yeah.
Almost got Dragoons with a single leg, but he did it with his weapon, and it slid up into the Dragoons' knee pit, and they lost the fight on that. So.
Oh really?
So if we go back to Libushin 23, White Company were very, very big on doing this in a 2-on-1, and the guy who was in the grapple would put a lot of pressure on the head to lean the guy forwards.
And grab that back leg.
Whoever it was would come in and literally weapon through and pick the leg. And as soon as the leg was off the floor, one was pulling up, the leg was coming up and being pushed. and the guy with the head was pulling obviously to him like a head drag. And they had a lot of success with it, especially when people didn't expect it. Because 1 minute they're just grappling one person, next minute they're on one leg.
Yeah, and I told this story on the previous episode, so sorry everybody for repeating myself. But when they were testing it, they did it to me in on Way of Honor, and they did it with the falchion, and they put it on my hamstring and slid the falchion on the hamstring, and it was painful as fuck. It was unbelievable pain. So I started to squirm around, get that blade out of my hamstring, and he kept pulling it. And as I squirmed, he went from the single leg into basically a high crotch, and didn't let go. And he pushed the falchion against my balls, and that was pushing against my nut cup, and he almost debranched me with that. So that wasn't pleasant. Not a good experience, and the way home was rough. I felt every bump. So yeah, good technique, but you have to be careful with that, with the judges. And you are doing, honestly, you are doing a good job here. Trying something here, then going here, trying something else, then eventually probably going here, because it makes the opposing team feel like they are not fighting 4 here or 5 in other situation fighters, but like it's 8 against 5. So good job. Unfortunately, Bo is a beast and took down your fighter here.
Yeah, shouldn't have left him. He gives me grief to this day. He's like, "Why'd you leave me with Bo?"
Yeah, well, honestly, it was a good decision on your side. It's just, you know, shit happens. Yeah.
Body.
Nice
Yes.
job.
Very
And
nice
keeps his
job.
hand on the rail, so doesn't fall down too. Good move. And a bit of bullying.
Yeah, we're quite close to the Kraken, so we're like, Ian, just please, just don't do this. Come on, buddy. I don't want to do this to you.
Yeah. Oh, bodies.
Bodies
Push,
again.
push.
Same bodies.
Yeah. There we
and
go.
Again.
And then the
Lucky
takedown
for him.
happened in the corner anyway.
Right, nice job. And you won the third round too, so the whole fight goes your way. Oh yeah, I wanted to do the round 3 too. Let's watch it.
Watch Milan fall over and take someone with him.
Yeah.
You can see it though when you're watching it. There's just the body language of Kraken between rounds. Like that's how I was at Way of Honor 24 after that first round against Mamansi. Like between rounds, I'm like, I'm dying, and then fighter's ready, and you're like, yeah, I guess I'm gonna go again.
Do you have a choice?
Dying. Yeah, no choice.
Yeah. Nice charge. Cannonballs through. And even if it ended up like this, it didn't work out quite as well as the last time, or in the last round. That's still a good result, because you are now dictating where the fight takes place, what happens, and you had he had kind of like, I think, 3 fighters paying attention to him at that moment, so the rest of the team could have positioned in the way that they wanted. So still good move from Milan there. It's kind of a rail version of what McCabe does. Taking attention from rest of his team.
Good use of the bodies over there in that top corner.
The fighter in the far corner is caught on the down fighter, so they stop the fight in just a second. There's a funny exchange that happens between fighters in just a second.
Yeah, this should have been stopped straight away, because you have advantage, but because of that armor failure, you are even here. So
So this is
So,
where now, obviously this was November, was it last year for you guys?
October, end of
October?
October, start of October, yeah.
Yeah, so this is now this is where the whole command comes in for this season, right? So I know we've talked about it on previous episodes, but that's a prime example where we can go hold, everybody stops, stays where they are, we sort the problem out, and then as soon as this has been untangled, it can be right, fight's ready, boom, off you go. And there's no marshals getting in the way of being squished, you know, there's no argument that can be made that it's unfair that you've got a fighter that should have been in a fight that was tied up, you know.
So this took minute and 20. That has to that had to be a proper tangle.
Yeah.
It felt like such a long time. So in this little pause, I was talking to Jake and I was like, "How's training going, Jake?" And he's like, "Yeah, man, I'm not training enough." And then in the corner is Luke and Marco, and they're having a great chat. And my
Yeah.
brother's fighting the guy over the bodies, and he's like, "Oh, Ryan, how's it going?" My brother goes, "Fuck off, bro."
Oh, good disarm there.
He did a good job trying to at least take the striker out of his position.
Yeah,
Because
just shepherding away.
if you have to be fighting someone in 2v1, you don't want one of them to be striker.
Yeah.
But he should be pushing the issue here because either this guy, but he's being kind of watched over by this guy. They cannot quite make make the fight even, so he has to push the tempo or push the issue and try to take this guy down, no matter the cost.
Yeah. That's a good overhead position in the corner.
Pushed him out.
Good push out, yeah.
Nice hip.
Nice.
Cool. Good job turning it around. And 9:46:15. Again Kraken against Werewolves.
I think this is where they hit the exhaustion period, honestly. They're round after round.
Yeah, and yeah, they had one fight between, but it was pretty quick one. So no. It was yeah, I bet they were praying, oh, please take longer. Yeah. Did they use the captain's break?
I believe so, but only 1 minute.
Yeah. I would take it between rounds. Nice shot. And the start was quite interesting. It got very loose very quickly.
Yeah, Bowen did a bit of a charge there, didn't he? Yeah, it was a good shot from Marco.
Yeah, it was all thanks to the Bow's charge that he got the opportunity for the shot. Nice.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Yeah, he's really happy about that.
Beautiful Sasai.
Yeah.
But again, I don't think he would make that mistake.
Some very good teamwork on that head grip. That head rip in the top left was some good teamwork. You could tell that they took half a second just to speak to one another. Look,
push
bit of a feed, push with the shield, boom. And then again, a good tight grip on the head. isolating the arm and going for the hump and bump on this bottom rail.
And here, that's Jake, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's Jake, yeah.
he's
Even
actually.
those,
I know it sucks to get walloped by two halberds, but it's honestly better to have two halberds in front of you rather than being tied up by one and have the other one be able to choose good spots, good targets to hit.
Yeah.
So even though it sucked and he eventually gone down, it was better of two evils. So good job by Werewolves, and we go on to Havoc versus Tears Warriors. So
Very nice
nice
trip.
counter.
Mm.
Yeah,
Nice.
he kind of bumped him here and gave him the motion to
give it the
kind
momentum.
of kill his own body there.
My support ends up handing me an axe, and I got sat down without him putting it on the list.
Yep.
That's why I was wondering.
Yeah.
That was a very good
Nice.
takedown there, though.
Nice. Yeah, it's tough to like be with all the adrenaline pumping and everything, then to think about telling the support to, hey, put that down or they're gonna sit me. And this was really nice trap of the leg. Get him into position and
Gets the foot on the inside.
here he countered, and I don't know if your buddy here did it on purpose, but he kind of locked him on the rail post.
Yeah, just stopped it and pushed it. Yeah.
Nice. But he kind of held his weapon here, as we have a saying in Czech, as a pig holds a pen. But figure it out pretty quick. Oh, yeah, too bad for Tier Warrior there.
Bodies.
He tore his ACL in that just before that, I think, as well.
Oh, and he was fighting with it, like the Tier Warrior.
In that round, he got it up. My brother had his ACL chopped and cut in half.
Your brother. Okay, this is your
Yeah.
brother, or the one on the
the dude on the ground that just got thrown.
yeah.
That was a nice down rail assault as well.
Yeah.
Just enough to get him to touch with his shield and round over.
How is that healing?
He's good now. It was like a grade 2 tear, so he's been not training for the last 6 months. He's been pretty anxious about it.
And we move on to Kraken versus Vultures. And this is my probably absolute favorite moment from the whole tournament. The Kraken executed the start so perfectly. That's honestly textbook from now on. The center runs through, ties attention from Vulture center, and immediately he is ready for it and charges through.
That's a diver follower play that they run really well.
That's awesome. So clean, so efficient. Like, holy fuck.
Nice leg kick out there.
Mm-hmm.
That was Jake.
Nice.
Oh,
I think
Back through. Whoop.
these Vultures guys are getting better and better. I
Mhm.
think a lot of these fights came down to the fact that a lot of these Kraken fighters are more experienced. They had the rounds to know what to do right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's also
Vultures.
they as they were exhausted, this quick takedown at the very start probably played a huge role of them getting it.
Mm.
Because if they had to go through another bog down on the rail, yeah, that could have turned out different for the Vultures.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, I just wanted to highlight that center play, and then we go to the final fight that we want to take a look at, and that's obviously you and Havoc, you and Beasts.
This.
That's for gold, right?
Yeah.
So tell us about how you obviously were watching them whole tournament. It just you had it just turned out that you had the last fight together. Did you make a strategy based on what you were seeing at that very tournament, or you just prepare your guys like, hey, you guys want to be the best, and whatever they throw at us, we know how to do better?
So when we fight beasts, we normally have a 30-second rule. So we either beat beasts in 30 seconds or we lose in 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it goes longer, we know someone gets hurt or we all get gassed out. It's a unmovable object versus a unstoppable force. So like it's 30
Yeah.
seconds in or 30 seconds out. For this round, I had a bit of my B team in because my brother was out with the medics. I was too busy with that. All my boys were scattered, and then at the start of this round, if you pull it back, you can see that like there's two fighters from Havoc just waiting, being like, "Where the fuck is everyone?" Because we were just so scattered, and we walked in, and we're like, "All right, that's it, 30 seconds, let's get it."
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that sucks.
We tried to send out our big boys against Colin, hold Colin down,
Mm-hmm.
don't charge Sam, but they outgassed us. We were tired. Our 30-second plan didn't work, so
Yeah, straight for Colin. Yeah, unfortunate. Big shots from Sam. But he had your fighter had a shield here, so it's a good decision from Sam to go somewhere else. If this Beast fighter wasn't able to rotate your Havoc fighter out of the corner and expose the back, no point in wasting time there. He keeps a good eye on what's happening in the field.
Yeah.
yeah. Sam's a range fighter that you need to create opportunities for him, and if you can make opportunities for Sam, that's when he'll start winning rounds for you. If you can open up gaps, open up the field, keep the field clean for him, he'll start cleaning people up.
Yeah. So change of strategy here.
Yeah, much slower. We tried to grind it. Beast took the advantage. You see they press us into the backfield.
Nice attempt at the throw here from Milan. Unfortunate that he missed the leg, but yeah, that would have been clean.
Good vision as well to spot that.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I didn't like about this round, I think, was my center, the guy in the closed faces in the backfield right now, should have ignored their center and just all of my guys are happy to get hit by that guy. So
yeah,
he should have been engaging. We're all happy to cop the hits off their center.
arm a failure.
Sabaton or something, it looks like.
Yeah. It was a good takedown there up in that.
Yeah, it took me down.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Nice. This was good effort here. If you have a falchion or single-handed attacks, there is no point hitting the head or shoulder or stuff like that. Just find the gap or the soft spot, hit there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you will not take the opponent down with those strikes, most likely, but you will force him to change his position and either get a takedown from that or make the takedown for your body easier
Yeah.
there. But
But
he got a
another
disarm
bro.
and didn't pay attention and got pretty big shield hit.
I think Milan is holding Colin in the corner for
Oh,
hoping for the
chicken
best.
dance.
No, that's Will. He can do it.
Colin got the takedown.
Yeah.
Oh, good teamwork on saving his fighter there. Doesn't seem like much, but it makes a massive difference. Yeah, that was a big one.
Yeah.
Something that beasts are really good at. They understand their comms really well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the tournament. So getting second place, were you satisfied with the result or gold is the only way?
Yeah, like our goal for this comp was to beat Warwolves. I said we don't care if we lose, as long as we beat Warwolves, we get the grudge, we're done. So second place was a good surprise. It was a good effort. Our guys trained hard the whole year. We did better than we thought we would.
Yeah.
We hadn't been on the podium for a little while.
I think that's a really good result, though. All told, you know. And I think the other thing is it shows progress all around. I know you tripped round last year and you came over to the UK and you did some other stuff as well. Like, shows the work's paying off, right?
Yeah, we spent a couple of days with Dan Winter at the White Company gym. We got cleaned up at Deeds, which was a good kind of eye opener to us.
And
you didn't do too bad.
Sorry, was Deeds your A squad or just whoever could come?
Deeds was my A squad, but we had a 6-man team. And then by the end of the comp, we were carrying, I think, 3 injuries. So we had 3 guys in the field by the end.
Right. All right. So, despite silver being like a good result for you, in your eyes, are you now focusing on adapting your strategy so you beat the beasts next time, or you just do what you do it more, be consistent, and you will get there eventually?
Pretty much, yeah. We found a lot more that like you can plan for fighting certain teams, but those plans only go so far. No plan survives contact with the enemy. So we had the first 10 seconds planned, and after the first 10 seconds, everyone's got one job to do, and just knuckle down and do your job.
Yep. All right. So this will bring us to the end. So plans for you this year are obviously Invitational. Then you will be staying over for Visegrad, and will Australia be I'm out of English. Will Australia be sending someone to Denmark?
Yes, I believe we're sending a mostly Brisbane Beast team with a couple of guys from different teams. So I'm very curious to see who pulls in. Like we were originally going to go to Denmark, and then the gap between Invitationals and Denmark was a week too long for us to justify.
Yeah, unfortunate. But still, getting 2 tournaments in is pretty good. Looking forward to meet you on both. Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Anything else you wanted to ask, Jenny?
No.
What's the European plan for Danny? I guess I'm curious to see North Wolves. I've fought you guys twice now. I want to see more of the English scene, I guess. What are you guys' plans?
Yeah, I mean this year for the Northern Wolves, I think we've got 6 domestic events this year in the UK. So from from the beginning of April through to the end of October, we've got 6 UK-based tournaments. For the Wolves, we're planning on being at Way of Honour if we get accepted. We're still waiting to find out, obviously, which teams are accepted to fight there, but we've registered for Way of Honour. There might be a couple of others for us to travel to, but we're kind of back in a bit of a consolidation for our team at the minute and building back up. So we had a big 24 where we went everywhere. You know, we were in the US where you were at Carnage. You know, we were all over Europe. Then I got injured, so last year for me was pretty much a write-off, barring fighting at the World Cup in the 30s. This year is definitely build back for us, and then hopefully next year we'll definitely be round and about again.
Nice.
Fingers crossed that we see you at the Way of Honor.
Yeah, all being well.
Well,
Good. Jacob, good luck smashing Pride Trolls again as well. Good luck.
yeah. Well, we will be meeting them at the Sveit Touring Cup, and well, if we are in the same group. But as I said, we will be sending 2 teams that will be kind of evened up. So neither will be A squad, B squad. So we'll see how that will work against Trolls. And obviously there are some other great teams. Satakunta from Finland are my dark horse of any tournament they go to. They are super skilled.
I think Primus is coming to that one as well. I think is that
yeah?
the one at the end of April?
Yes.
I think Primus might be sending a team to that as well.
Cool. Even better.
So that'd be interesting because I've got a couple of my guys are in the Primus kind of team for when they're available. So yeah, it might be interesting.
And then there will be Growly from France, and they are, I don't know in what shape they are in right now.
Yeah, I think last season they spent a bit of time allied with Grimaldi. I think it was Growly and Grimaldi kind of came together for last season, but I don't know where they're at this year.
Yeah, I don't know if the Polish teams will be there. I know that Raubiters will be there, but I'm not sure about the rest. But for sure there will be Polish teams the week after or 2 weeks after, in because everybody was, or a lot of people were telling us, hey, Czechs only go to tournament, they don't host shit. So now we have 2 tournaments, potentially later 3. I don't know about that. But 2 weeks after the Sveitoringi, there will be Gabretta combat tournament, and there will be KSR, obviously Prague Trolls and all the Czech teams, but also a team called Bobr Kurva, and that seems almost like it's a little bit of a Polish all-star, and Adam Harrigan is registered on that team, so looking forward how that squad turns out. And after that, another Czech tournament in June in Rataj, which you may know from Kingdom Come. So at the very spot that the Rataj tournament was in the game, there is the tournament from us, and it's as a part of a Kingdom Come community gathering. So last year I proposed to my now fiancée there, and we'll be as a husband and wife there by then. So looking forward to that tournament also. So yeah, that's it. Anything else?
Not for me.
No? Okay, so thank you guys for watching. All the Australians are welcome here now that didn't watch before. If you don't watch, I don't like you, I'm ungrateful. Go to hell. And yeah, obviously just joking. Looking forward to seeing you on the tournaments that I mentioned, Mark. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, Mark.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
thanks for having me.
Thank you. So everybody, bye.